So I will start to admit all participants now. Okay, now we are live. All good. Okay. So in 2 minutes, I think we will be starting, or we'll wait a few minutes more. Camilla, what do you think? Like 10
Please
or
wait some minutes more.
Todos el coñazo con Pablo, que seguramente le ha marcado la vida desde el año 70.
Excuse me, Maria, Altamira, we can hear you. Yeah, thank you so much for switching off your microphone.
Olga, now it's 10 o'clock, so please wait 2 minutes and then we start.
One more people is joining. One more. Okay. Okay. And I think we will be starting in a few seconds. All right. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Good. So my name is Olga, and yeah, welcome firstly to the EARLALL Academy. My name is Olga, and today with my colleague, with the moderator, with the coordinator of the EARLALL Academy, Camilla Winter, we're happy to guide you through the today's session on national vaccines, mission, and examples from Spain and Sweden. Before I pass the floor to my colleague Camila, I would like to introduce you housekeeping rules, which are probably already well known to some of you, but it's very good uh, to repeat it again. Please make sure that your microphone is off when nesting. Also, keep in mind that you can rename yourself, name your surname, organization / region. If you don't know how to do that, you can find it on the right side. Right click your image, rename. You can leave your camera on, but please note that pictures might be taken during the session and published on our social media. You can, of course, use the chat box to ask questions to the presenters and interact with other participants. The session will be recorded and available on the website of our EARLALL Academy. Camila, floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Olga, and welcome also from me to all participants and to the two speakers. Before I introduce our two speakers, I would like to say some words about the EARLALL Academy. It offers webinars with different topics each time and transversal themes. And the target group is our members, the member regions and associate members. And the content is tailor-made because we try to find out the needs of our members. And it's, of course, a part of the annual work plan. And the new work plan is just approved by the board. So for next year, we know what to do. The procedure is the same each time. You get an invitation, you register, you join like now. And afterwards, you get a link to the lesson note, to the presentation, to the recorded webinar, and to a badge for downloading, so you can share it on social media. Next slide, please. So why this EARLALL Academy? As I already said, it supports our members and associate members on local and regional level in their capacity building. And we have already provided 14 online sessions with different themes and topics. For example, media and information literacy, New European Bauhaus, Erasmus+, KX1 Vet Mobility. It was about how to write a competitive and successful proposal, communication, democratic engagement, AI, and inclusion. So each time a different topic. And of course, these learning opportunities are tailor-made for the needs of our members and associate members. You remember, I know you remember that 2023 was the European Year of Skills launched by the European Commission, and the EARLALL Academy is our contribution to this year. Now we have 2025, but we still provide our sessions because we think it's useful for our members, and it's unique for you, our members, and by invitation only. But you can always invite the stakeholders if you know anybody who is interested. So please let us know. And this academy is coordinated by me, and my educational consultancy organization is one of the associate members of EARLALL. So the next, thank you. The topic of today is national VET teams, mission and examples from Spain and Sweden. And we will learn from our speakers about the national VET teams coordinated by the Erasmus Plus national agency in these two countries. We think it's very interesting because we have one big country in the south and one small country in the north. We have one member in the south and we have one coordinator in the north. So I think it will be very interesting. And we will hear about the mission, the activities, and how these teams support the VET institutes. I can also mention I belong to the Swedish national VET team. So we also gain insights in how their work strengthens quality, innovation, and internationalization in vocational education and training. But before I introduce the speaker, another slide. So the next slide, please. I would like to say some words about the history about these national VET teams. So we will have a brief look back. Before we have these national VET teams, we had something called national teams of ECVET, or if you say EasyVET, experts, and that was around 2010 to 2020. I can't say exactly when we started in Sweden. I only know that I was one of the members. And what means ECVET? This is European Credit System for Vocational Education and Training. And that was a framework from the European Commission for describing and transferring and recognizing learning outcomes in VET, and especially during mobility periods. It's a little bit like ECTS, the European Credit Transfer and Accumulation System in higher education. A little bit, but not the same. Unfortunately, it was very complicated to implement and it was not so successful. And therefore, the European Commission was the DG Employment and the Director General for Employment and also for vocational education and training. They launched a new initiative. So the ECVET framework was phased out 2020 to 2021, and then the expert teams were replaced by these national VET teams under Erasmus Plus, with focus on quality in VET mobility. And when we talk about quality, then we think about ECAVET. That is another European tool for quality assessment. So that was all. So now I have the great pleasure to introduce our speakers. And I start in the north and on the national level. So Elin Karvonen, Program Officer for Erasmus Plus Cooperation Partnerships in VET at the Swedish National Agency for Erasmus Plus, where she also serves as the coordinator of the Swedish National VET team. In her role, Elin supports the development of high-quality vocational education and training, coordinates national expertise within VET, and oversees international cooperation projects under Erasmus+. She has a deep passion for animals and the natural world, and she spends much of her free time outdoors with her family, doing her best to pass on her lifelong fascination with wildlife to her young two daughters. So nice. And I would like to present Miriam also now. So Miriam, the next slide, please, Olga. Miriam Castillo Gonzalez, Head of Service for Programs and Projects for the Promotion of Vocational Education within the Directorate General for Vocational Education of Catalonia. And Catalonia is one of our member regions. With extensive experience in Erasmus Plus and international VET cooperation, she works to strengthen innovation, dual training, and the internationalization of Catalan vet contributed actively to Spain's national vet team. And I know that is really true. So, first of all, I give the floor to you, Elin.
So much, Camilla. Hi everyone, it's a pleasure being with you all today. My name is Elin Karmonen, as Camilla told you, and I have been the main coordinator of this vet team in Sweden for about 5 or 6 months now, and before that I was the co-host together with my colleague Niklas, who is still very much involved as well. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of how we have worked in Sweden with the National Vet Team since it was implemented in this program period. And if I speak too fast or anything, just let me know. I have a tendency to do that once I get started, so just raise your hand if I'm being too quick. But the vet team in Sweden, like I said, it's being coordinated by 2 staff members at the moment at the national agency here in Sweden. I should mention that there are 2 national agencies for Erasmus Plus in Sweden, but the one where I work at, the Swedish Council for Higher Education, is the one that has the vet sector in it, which obviously is the one coordinating the vet team. We have a very diverse pool of profiles within our team members that represent different forms of vet education in Sweden. Obviously, as you all know, vet education works in very many different ways across Europe, but we have representatives from vocational college programs, vet programs at youth levels, adult education colleges, etc. And the profile, as you can see, we have a bunch of international coordinators from all of these different institutions that I just mentioned. We also have vet teachers that work very closely with at beneficiary level and at student level. We have principals, school leaders in vet education, and we also have researchers. We have a researcher that conducts research on the social and democratic dimensions on vocational education. His work has focused on how class, gender, place, and power relations have shaped young people's educational pathways and after that, their transition into working life. So among other things, he has examined how organization of vocational education and work-based learning and education policy influence students' opportunities for participation, as well as how local contexts affect education, integration, and career pathways for youths and newly arrived immigrants, etc. So we're very proud of this group of people, including Camilla, as you said, who's been with us from the very start of this, longer than I have. So you're the expert here too, so let me know if I missed something. And just as a general way to describe, again, Camilla gave a great introduction here, but the vet teams within Erasmus Plus has their own budget for each country, and it's specifically focused on the vet sector. And it aims to support vocational education and training professionals by enabling them to collaborate, exchange best practices, and strengthen the quality and relevance of vet within Europe. So through mobility and by supporting beneficiaries to do their mobility with high quality and different cooperation activities, the vet team can work, the vet teams across Europe can work to improve skills development, foster innovation in teaching and training, and they can enhance links between education, labor markets, different stakeholders, and industry across Europe, basically. So that's just a very brief introduction. We can take the next slide. For the vet team's main activities for this year, it's been a very interesting year for the Swedish vet team because in the end of 2024, we recruited a new pool of 12 vet team experts. Camilla and 4 other experts came along from the previous group of experts that we had. We have 5 ones that's been with us from the very start of this program period. But we added another 7 experts for this year. So a lot of the focus for this year has been to basically them getting to know each other, exchange best practices, getting to know where my competence fall in this category of people. But we have also conducted a bunch of activities already that I'm really looking forward to see how they develop continuously. The large activities for this year has been seminars that has been conducted previous years as well. These seminars are offered at various locations across Sweden. As you know, Sweden is a very long country, so we have to spread out. Actually, just last week I was in Malmö in the very south of Sweden, close to Copenhagen, Denmark. We had 2 conferences or seminars there. And these seminars have focused mainly on quality assurance, work experience training, Europass, strategic internationalization, etc. And these are all subjects that we as a national agency, maybe apart from Europass, because we do have someone in charge of Europass at our national agency. But apart from that, everything focusing on quality and strategic internationalization is not really something that we as a national agency have the capacity to support for our beneficiaries. So it's a huge asset and very, very welcoming asset that we have these vet teams that can help us do this. And Camilla, you have also been part of these seminars and have hosted great workshops on Europass and how beneficiaries can use that in their strategic development. These seminars take place 4 times each year, in which we obviously take in notes every year, what we can keep on developing, what we see, if we see that a bunch of questions. Obviously, the school system in Sweden keeps developing as well, as you all know in your different countries as well. So we have to take in new knowledge and new expertise all the time to see that they continue to develop as the questions from the seminars progress as well. We've also taken part in international network activities. These vet teams, they do collaborate a lot. They exchange best practices. I'm sure Miriam will tell you more about that or mention that later. But we did take part. This was our first international network activity for the Swedish vet team. Again, it's happened a lot of changes within the vet team this previous years. We've changed who is the coordinator back and forth. But this year was the first year where we felt we really had the resources to really visit one of these events. So my colleague Niklas went together with 2 of the experts to Tartu in Estonia to meet with other vet team experts. And we also have plans to participate next year. I'm going to mention that a little bit later in the meeting in Dublin. So we're really looking forward to that. We also have an exciting webinar that has been scheduled for fall 2025. I should say that it's in the beginning of December, that Camilla is one of the organizers for. And this webinar is focusing on supporting experienced Key Action 1 vet beneficiaries in exploring opportunities within KA2 and Key Action 2, and more specifically, the small-scale partnerships. We've seen that the step for our beneficiaries to take from a KA1 project to KA2 project is quite large at the moment. They get get scared is not the right word, but I think it overwhelms them with a different way of thinking, how you can approach these 2 different kinds of projects. And, with schools being very busy already with a lot of administrative tasks, we want to help them to take this step and understand that it's not really that big of a step, and also how much it can benefit them as an organization. So we have vet experts that are gonna talk about this, and specifically the target group is experienced KA1 beneficiaries that has had projects for us at the agency for a long time, that are accredited that they have had their accreditation for a very long time. We also offer on-demand meetings with vet experts. A lot of our experts have a long background within internationalization, within administration, with international collaborations and strategic internationalization. So if you feel like if you're as a beneficiaries have gotten stuck on a topic, or if you have had a huge change in staff that you want to introduce to how you work with internationalization, a vet team expert from us can come to your school or vet school and talk to you and your school leaders and try to develop a plan forward. And this is both for prospective future beneficiaries, but also for current beneficiaries that have run into troubles. And the next one is a current ongoing project that has, oh, we can take one step back. Yeah, I just meant the last point there, that the vets, we also have vet teams in a group that are developing a preparatory materials to support vet schools in evolving student health services in their preparation for mobilities, with the aim of enabling more students with fewer opportunities to participate. And this comes because we see that a lot of the vet schools in Sweden have a large group of students that would fall within this category of fewer opportunities, but they don't quite necessarily have the tools how to prepare them in the right way to make the mobility successful. But we have seen a lot of good examples from schools that have involved, because if you're a public school in Sweden, it's required that you have a student health team at the school that has a school counselor and a school nurse. And we've seen great examples of that with people involving specifically the school counselor to talk to the students before they go, to talk about, for instance, we get a lot of questions at the agency, like how can you make sure that the students don't get homesick, for instance, if they go, we talk about younger students mainly now. And the student health system has been great with just promoting that this is not something that you necessarily should avoid at all costs. Like homesickness is a natural feeling. We all have it, even as adults. The key is to find tools for that. Like if you experience homesickness before you go, how do you think you will react? Do you want to be by yourself? Do you want your friends to come and support you? And just being able to talk about that before you go, and talk about that together with your colleagues, or in this case, your fellow students. We've seen great examples of that really paying off in the final evaluations from the students. So they are putting together a sort of toolbox and a handbook for schools to be able to involve actively the school nurse and the school counselor in different ways. So that's ongoing. We can take the next slide. And just to mention briefly for next year, again, our work plan for 2026 hasn't been approved yet. So I'm not sure how much I can say that we're definitely going to do, but the work plan for Erasmus Plus for each year, I would say for vet team, is very general. It's more focused on different themes where later you can fill in with the activities. And again, you always have to be, because you have 12 people involved in this, and all of them have other jobs as well. You don't know how much you can count on them being able to support the vet team in different activities, and also how much the questions from the schools, how much we will come in and stuff. But overall, I just wanted to mention how the activities, where our themes will be for next year. As it has been this year, strategic engagement in European vet development. I think this goes for nearly every vet team, that you monitor the vet sector across Europe, see where the needs are, and how you can work as a team to make sure that our beneficiaries within Erasmus Plus can take part in these needs and get the tools that they need. We also have a collaboration with Euro Apprentice Ambassadors, which is another initiative of Erasmus Plus. We will continue to do the capacity building seminars and different thematic trainings next year. We're also looking at, I will mention that a little bit later, but we're also looking at how we can connect our activities to the horizontal priorities within Erasmus Plus in a more active way. We've seen a lot of good examples of that in other Nordic countries doing that. And that also has to do with resources connected to the national agencies, because we don't get, as a national agency, a separate budget for how to work with the horizontal priorities, even though we really want to make sure that our beneficiaries get access to as much information about it as possible. But the idea is that we can create activities, seminars on different themes connected to these priorities. So that's another thing we're looking into. A continued support to supporting learners with fewer opportunities. Again, that's already ongoing, that we've done this year, but we're going to continue doing that. And overall, just looking at different cross-sector synergies between other, I mentioned Euro apprentices already, but there are so many other great initiatives within Erasmus Plus and the European Commission that I feel we can use the network and really promote these skills that we have, and different stakeholder corporations as well. We want to continue continuous professional development for our experts as well. As you saw before, our vet team has a very diverse set of skills within them, but we do want to get them up to date with each other's skills as well, so they can learn from each other, that they can take part of the European dimension of vet, etc. So we're going to try and organize some sort of training sessions for all of experts as well. And then continue, as I said, there's been a lot of changes within the vet team just for the last 2 years, both for our coordination and also within the team of experts. So we haven't quite felt that we've been secure in communicating to our beneficiaries that this resource, for example, the on-demand meetings, that they exist. But now I feel very secure that we have a good base to do that. So next year we're going to try and make ourselves more visible overall, for participate in different fairs. We have the I lost it. What is called the skills. Kamal, can you help me? The skills competition in spring. Do you know what it's called? The work skills, I think. Work skills, isn't it? Different kind of fairs anyway, and different ways to just promote our visibility to show that for the beneficiaries that we exist. And then the last slide here, I just wanted to, if we can take the next slide here, I wanted to mention briefly about the other Nordic Baltic countries that we obviously try to have a close collaboration with. As you can see, Estonia has gotten quite far in doing activities connected to the horizontal priority, and in particular the green priority. They offer a series of month of green morning webinars that focus on green economy, circular economy, and sustainability. So we're looking into that, trying to see what kind of competences we have within our, for example, the research that I told you about could be a possible one to do for the democratic participation priority within Erasmus Plus, for instance. We could connect that to that somehow. And overall, just different thematic seminars that focuses on sustainability. So they have really taken into this whole experience of connecting the activities towards the horizontal priorities within Erasmus Plus. And if you see Finland, I'd say that they have a very much similar to Sweden focused overall. Many seminars that focus in on how to implement high quality process and follow up, and how to plan and measure progress in all their key activities, and etc. And in both Estonia and Finland, you can see that they also have summer days or summer school for KA1 project coordinators in vet. We've talked about that within the vet team, that this is a little bit of a struggle to conduct in Sweden, because we have a very specific way how long for each year the schools are allowed to work. The teachers don't work throughout the summer in Sweden, and few days that they have in the very beginning of summer, it might be just 5 or 6 days sometimes that they have for planning. They usually want to use that to conduct planning for the upcoming fall. So summer school for vet practitioners might not be an option for Sweden, but it's something that comes across. I think also Iceland has it. So that's just a very brief overview for you to see how the other Nordic countries have set an example as well. Sorry. Still have a little bit of a cold, just very cold all of a sudden up here in north of Sweden. And yeah, I think that was more or less what I had. Just a very brief overview. And again, I'm very new as well, so I hope that have given you just overall view of how it works here in Sweden.
Thank you so
Camilla.
much, Elin. You are
Thank you.
new, but you did it very well. So I think all of us have a very good overview of what's happening in Sweden. Are there any questions in the chat, Olga?
There is no questions in the chat, but maybe now
Yeah, if you have questions now, or we take the questions at the end.
Yeah, I see one question from one participant. Please, Alicia.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the presentation because it was really interesting how the list of the actions that you are dealing with. I was just wondering now that we have vet team in other Baltic countries, and I was wondering if you cooperate. We will see later Miriam's presentation, but I was wondering if you are cooperating actually not only with your geographical area, but also with other EU countries, vet teams, I don't know, to learn. And how is the learning process from your team to other teams, though you are quite new? So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your question. I think Miriam might be more experienced with this than I am, but I do know we have a network. This particularly, we don't have a specific Nordic Baltic network that only collaborates, but the network that we have visited in Tartu, I think also Spain participated in. I think that's quite a huge number of countries that are involved with this particular international collaboration. Also France, if I'm not mistaken, and a bunch of other countries. Again, it was my colleague who attended that conference. I'm really looking forward to participating next year. But there is an already existing international network that has done great work. And again, we just joined in April this year. So we saw the meeting in Estonia was more of a study visit almost. So we're looking forward to participate more, and also, as you say, work more strategically with, exchanging ideas and best practices with other vet teams. So that's where we are right now. Thank you for your
Thank
question.
you. Are there more questions, Olga? Otherwise, I will give the floor to Miriam.
Yeah, at this moment we don't have any more questions.
Maybe at the end when we compare Spain and
Up in the air.
Sweden. Yeah. So thank you once again. Thank you, Elin, for your
Thank you.
your presentation. It was interesting for all of us. So now I would like to introduce you and give the floor to you, Miriam.
Okay, so good morning, everyone, and thank you, Eileen, for this very interesting presentation. I think it was very different from the first time that I heard what you will be you have been doing in Sweden, and I think there are a lot of similarities of what we are doing also in Spain. I also want to say hello to one of my colleagues from the National Vet Team Spain, which is also here in this seminar, Maria Altamira. If after the presentation you want to add something, please feel free, because as we are colleagues, we work together, so that I'm sure you can complement what I'm going to say. So it's thank you, EARLALL and Camila, for giving us opportunity to present the work of our National Vet Team Spain, so that we can share the journey we have followed from the beginning of the Erasmus Plus program in 2021, and we are able to explain how we have organized our activities of the past years. My aim here is not only to give an overview of the team's activities, but also to transmit how we work, how we coordinate across regions, because we are a highly decentralized system in Spain, and how we continuously try to strengthen the European dimension of the vocational education and training in Spain. As many of you surely know, Spain is a country where vocational education and training involves multiple levels of responsibility. The ministry provides the national framework, but then the autonomous regions design and manage the vocational education and training in their territories a little bit. So this diversity is reflected in our national vet team, because we bring together almost 30 members, which includes, as you can see there, representatives from all autonomous regions, national experts, and directors of vet institutions with many years of experience in Erasmus Plus programs. And this mix of profiles is one of our greatest strengths. It ensures that the discussions are not only theoretical, that they are also grounded in realities of schools, companies, training centers, rural context, urban context, and institutions with a very different levels of internationalization in Spain. What we do is that we identify challenges and good practices, and they represent the full territorial institutional diversity of Spain. And this is crucial when working with European priorities, because each priority lands differently depending on the regional context. And having, well, all the voices at one table has been essential for creating a real community of practice. The coordination of the national VET team of Spain is led by the 8 national agencies, EPIE, through the VET unit and the Europass service. And this provides a stable institutional structure and ensures alignment with the implementation of the Erasmus Plus at the national level. We work hand in hand also with a representative of the Ministry of Education, Vocational Training and Sports, who gave us updated view of the national reform of vocational education and training that we are living in Spain. And this connection is very important, especially now that digitalization and the hybrid training are key strategic lines in Spain. We also have people from regional administrations that contribute with knowledge of local needs, networks, and regional policy frameworks. And we also, as you can see, we're relying on expert beneficiaries of Erasmus Plus, whose practical experience allows us to analyze real projects, understand the real challenges, and collect inspiration from the ground. And their experience in mobility cooperation projects, and even for this year's 2025, the Jean Monnet actions, has given us valuable insights into the daily running of the internationalization strategies. And finally, we also have KA 120 evaluators and European quality assurance experts, which are essential because they ensure that our work remains connected to quality assurance principles and to the accreditation framework. Next slide, please. Here, our activities each year. Our approach is based on our annual cycle. Each year, we select one of the Erasmus Plus horizontal priorities and explore it in depth. And we use this structure because that give us currents to our actions. We have meetings, we work also with working groups. We do a lot of visits to different VET institutions in Spain. We do an annual conference. And we also do materials, as Eileen was saying in Sweden. We do materials also to help our VET institutions to help with their internationalization. And we also do a lot of work to do this communication, the dissemination around the priority that we choose every year. And the goal is not only, as I said, to analyze the priority from a policy perspective, but also to identify how VET institutions interpret this priority, how they integrate it into the projects, and what kind of innovation or challenges they encounter. And this approach helps us to have a lot of good practices over the years. For example, in 2023, we focused on inclusion and diversity, and that gave us insight into accessibility models, support mechanisms for learners with fewer opportunities, and also inclusive organizational cultures. In 2024, we moved into sustainability and climate action, discovering how our VET institutions work on green skills, circular economy, energy efficiency, and eco-innovation. This year, 2025, we focused on the democratic participation priority, and this has allowed us to explore the social function of vocational education and training institutions, how they develop critical thinking, citizenship, and engagement with the local community. Well, in 2026, we are thinking, well, we will be in charge of focusing on the digitalization priority. Yeah, next slide, please. Yes, sorry. Yeah, it's okay. In 2024, I just want to mention a little bit what the activities that we have done in 2024 that we connected in this year with them in the environmental crisis, and we look beyond how these traditional vocational skills, we have to give it a little bit further and go to explore the green transition, the circular economy, and the ecological transformation of all these sectors. Here, 2024, we visited a lot of vet schools committed to green transition. We interviewed teachers implementing eco-innovation, and we analyzed also how Erasmus Plus projects contributed to Erasmus to sustainability. Many centers show innovative approaches in renewable energies, agricultural sustainability, recycle systems, and sustainable mobility. And others demonstrated how this climate action can be integrated into these transversal skills, entrepreneurship, and community projects. And with all the information we had from this visit that we did to the vet institution, we had this the annual meeting awarding this priority. Next slide, please. 2025, also as Sweden, was a very particular, dense and productive year. The priority that we deal with is democratic participation, and that requires to look at VET from a wider perspective, not just as a training system, but as a space for community building, critical thinking, and social engagement. And I must say that was a little bit complicated. It was not easy. I think it's one of the most difficult, maybe, priorities to include in the Erasmus Plus programs, or at least it's what we have seen from the vet institution that we visited. So that this year also we have been attending 7 meetings, 2 face-to-face meeting and 5 online. The 2 face-to-face meetings were in Pamplona and in Murcia. Well, we have the annual conference, and these meetings are very useful because that help us to coordinate our activities, and also to share the progress with the groups that we are engaged in. As you can see, the activity 2, we are organized in working groups, and this year, 2025, we have produced quite a lot of outputs. For example, the communication group has been working on increasing visibility, improving the website, and you will have the link to our official website in the last at the end of the PowerPoint, and that that's because for us it's also important to that our vet institutions know where to go to find the materials that we have prepared for them, and also to be able to see what we have done with the visits with other institutions and have good practices. We also have done, we have produced visual resources for the conference in Murcia, and we also, you can also find their newsletters. We have a dissemination group that it was in charge of prepare the narrative and the program of the Murcian conference, coordinated with the speakers and also managing the logistics. We have the internship regulatory mapping group that gather information from all autonomous regions and created the first consolidated map of how workplace training is regulated across the different regions in Spain. And we have the group that was in charge of the internationalization indicators guide, which is, and I would talk a little bit more later, but the guide that we have done is not an evaluation tool in the strict sense. Instead, it works as a self-reflection instrument for the vet institution, a way for the vet schools to identify where they stand, what their strengths are, and which areas they could improve in order to take to make their international work more consistent, more sustainable, and more aligned with the Erasmus Plus accreditation. And what we have done this year is we have analyzed how vet schools have used the guide. We have collected feedback from them, and we have started shaping a simplified and more user-friendly version that we could also share with you, with other countries, because I think it would be good material that we could use all of us when it's already finished. In the activity 3, we visit, as I said, different vet institutions implementing Erasmus Plus projects related to the annual priority that we were working this 2025 on democratic participation. And these visits connect us directly with vet institutions and allow us to observe how the priorities are translated into real activities. We visit centers that work with student councils, local community projects, participatory methodologists, that they have also Erasmus Plus models that include civic participation and Jean Monnet initiatives that help students understand how the European Union work. And we have generated some reports after each visit that are published on our website, and that as used as a valuable resource for other vet institutions that are looking for inspiration. As I said before, we analyzed the pilot that we have done of the internationalization indicator guide. And well, I don't think, I think I explained everything about the guide. And the only thing to be remarkable is that we will have it ready after all the pilot in 2026, ready to be launched and ready to use for our vet institutions in Spain. And then also, as Aileen said, we took part in this international transnational vet team network in Estonia, in Tartu. And here we were shared also the way we work and our plan for 2025, and that was the case because it was late before this year. And we also have the opportunity to see how other countries are dealing with the national team in northern countries in that case, because we were the only Mediterranean country participating in this in this meeting. Ireland was there too, and we have the opportunity to see a lot of good practices and to be able to access to really interesting materials that we will be able to share also with our vet institutions in Spain. And it was an opportunity to make our work also visible. And it was a really good experience, I must say, to be able to have this place, this space to share knowledge with other national vet teams in Europe. And yeah, I think that is more or less what I wanted to say. And I will be happy to answer any question if you have any. Yeah, here, oh yeah, sorry. Here we have the CEPALE. I forgot. We made also this year 2025 an EPALE group so that we can share their the whole materials within the national vet teams colleagues. We can share materials and have a space to be able to communicate with each other. And that will be everything. Thank you very much. Here you can have the link to be able to access the official page of the National Vet Team where you can find all the materials. Thank you very much.
Miriam, thank you very much. I'm very impressed, and I think all of us are very impressed about the national vet team in Spain. You are doing a lot, and I think we can learn much from you. So it was very interesting, and yeah, good luck with your national vet team in the future. Olga, do we have some questions?
At this moment, there is no questions in the chat. I wanted to say that I shared actually the link which was on the Medium slide, so you can check what are the information included there. But please ask the question now if somebody wants.
So now you have the great opportunity to ask questions to Elin.
Yeah. We have a Nicholas.
Yes, Nicholas.
Can you hear me? Good.
We
All right.
hear
Thank
you.
you. Thank you both, Elin and Miriam. I had two questions really. And the first one to Miriam, I was curious about what under the theme activities for the coming year with digitization, what you maybe had planned there. That was the first question. And the other question was actually I was curious to know was directed to both Elin and Miriam if there was something in particular that you found interesting between your presentations of things where you see, oh, well, that's something that we could maybe do, or what you might have found of interest from each other. Thank you.
Okay. Regarding the first question about digitalization, we are just starting, and we always function the same way, so that we started looking for vet institutions in Spain that has worked with this priority very very good, very impressively. So that, and then we do these study visits, so that they have the opportunity to tell us what they have done. And then we do also some research. We are also in touch with the national vet team in Spain, of course, not MIA. The national vet team in Spain is in touch with the European Commission, so that they can also do this research. We look for these good practices, and then at the end of the course, it usually June, July 2026, we will do this annual conference, where I must say you will be invited to come if you are able and want to, and then we there are able to explain what we have, all the research that we have done, all the people. You will have the opportunity to hear all the people that know more about this priority that we're working in this year, and we will show the good practices that we think are more suitable to show in this kind of conference. So that's how we work. So that I cannot tell you exactly how it's going to be, because we don't have we haven't done the visits yet. So we are just looking for the best practices and in whole Spain. And after these study visits, we will start also working on the annual conference. So I will be able to give you more information in the coming months. And yeah, about what we heard from each other, I must say that as I said before starting the conference, it was a really nice surprise to hear the change that Sweden did, because the first time I had opportunity to hear very briefly how they start. I think they were less people than now. They are now 12 experts working in the national vet team, and they are doing, well, a lot of things. Sorry. A lot of impressive things, and I'm really happy to be able to access to the materials they also are preparing for their vet institutions. I think that it doesn't matter if they are for Nordic vet institutions. I'm sure there's a place so that we can also be able to use these materials and to exchange good practices. Also, I also say that when we finished the indicators, the internationalization indicators guide, we will be also be able to share it with you. And of course, you are more than happy to use it if you consider it is something that it could be useful in your countries.
Thank you. And for me, with Miriam's, again, I think as I mentioned in my presentation, I'm very inspired by this idea to connecting your work plan to different priorities. I think that has a very much good potential to create very, qualitative work within and help you keep focus within a large group. So I'm very inspired by that idea. It's something that we've already discussed and something that we're trying to develop more in the future. So that was a great example, I think, that I'm going to present as well. And then overall, just as Camilla said, it's hard not to get inspired by someone who's been working for so long. I think the challenge for us as a national agency is just to adapt the scale of it, obviously, because every country has a different set of budget for according to how big you are. And again, we have 12 members, and that's pretty much what we can afford according to the Erasmus Plus given budget. And again, to create activities, I think it's about the challenge for me and the team and Nicholas is going to be like to adjust the expectations on how we can take good examples from what you are doing and adapt that to the labor market here in Sweden and the vet institutions to make it fit according to our, limited size country. But thank you. It was a great presentation, Miriam. I'm so happy to have listened.
Thank you so much for the answers also. And we have one participant who would like to share his vision. And Maria Altamira, the floor is yours, please.
So thank you very much. In my case, I just wanted to appreciate Miriam's presentation, her brilliant presentation. It's not a question what I'm going to put because I belong to the national vet team. Okay, as she mentioned at the beginning of her presentation, on behalf of Castilla y León, which is one of the communities in Spain, which is quite big, I mean, in area. So I just wanted to focus on the fact that, as she has explained perfectly, we are a very dynamic, very active group. And just in case other vet teams might get what is our secret is that we are a very cohesive group. Okay, we come from 17 different communities, yes, plus 2 other autonomous cities. So it's quite big group. Okay, we are really a team. And I think that the secret is that we meet face to face at least twice a year, right? And I just wanted to put in the value of not only talking about internationalization, which is one of our main focus, right? But also sharing the different perspectives and problems, okay, in our day-to-day work from different places. So I just wanted to say thank you, Miriam. I think you have explained exactly what I feel. I mean, being part of the team, that we are really active and dynamic. And of course, I don't know if other people have had the possibility to meet the person in charge of our national agency, CEPIE, okay? But Maria Gomez Ortueta is the person who has facilitated all the work for this great group, okay? Big in number, but very, very active. So thank you, Miriam. Thank you. And thank you all for having the opportunity to present our work.
Thank you so much. It's 4 minutes past 11. Maybe, Olga, we will send the presentation, and there you can see the next EARLALL Academy, because we are a little bit late. So I think we say thank you so much, or no, you have it. You will get this badge. I said it in the beginning. And next slide, maybe. So the new sessions planned. The next one will be in December, and planned is the strategies to make less attractive industries more appealing. And then you see the following webinars. We will come back to you with an invitation, and I hope you will register and join the next session. So thank you. And Olga, you would like to say something about communication, maybe?
I would like to take a group picture now, very quickly, please.
And we have to smile.
And 1, 2, 3. I think everyone ready. Everyone is smiling. Thank you so much.
You have, sorry, Olga, but you have to stop the presentation. Otherwise, you don't get everyone, no, on the screen.
Do I have everyone?
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. And okay,
Would
we
you like to
have
say
it.
something to the last slide?
I also, of course, want to inform you that I will produce the notes, and all information and recordings after this session will be uploaded on our Academy website. And so all of you using your password can go back and check and read again, or ask us some questions if you have some, and we will answer you with a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Have a
Bye-bye.
nice day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.